Happy New Year, guys. That's right, the new year just started. It's 2026 now. It kind of feels weird to say. Felt like I just started boxing yesterday. But hey, this video is just gonna be really a recap video on what I've done this year. So let's get to it. January. Man, I was still at Supreme in January. Now keep in mind, in January, I was still super green. Like, I'm still green right now, but here's how I looked sparring back then.
Further implying that, yep, I'm only focusing on my lead hand. Now, why I did this?
Yeah, it wasn't the best, but it is what it is. Later in January, I actually did my first VR video. It actually kind of holds up kind of well compared to my newer content. Back then, it was the best I could do in terms of editing, but hey, I would say it wasn't too bad. Then I sparred a couple more times in January, and I'm gonna be honest, I mean, as you can see, I just didn't look explosive at all. Like, I looked really slow back then. Oh yeah, another content milestone that I had was I started my shorts, reels, whatever, all of that content. I started cross-posting on other platforms, which it's turning out to be my main source of content now, and it's been doing pretty good. And on the 25th of January, I actually published my first video where I was sponsored. I was sponsored by Hayabusa. They gave me free gloves, and I really appreciated that back then, and I still appreciate it now. Ending off in January, I went to P-Town, and by this point, this is where I actually started to discover there's a whole new level of work ethic in boxing. In February, I didn't have too big of a milestone, I'm gonna be honest. By this point, I started posting on Instagram, I'm pretty sure, which started to take off actually really well. I started my Relearning to Box series, which I'm gonna be honest, I don't really remember what I was thinking when I was calling it that, but it is what it is. And basically in February, I just started to grow my channel and continue to grow my channel. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, guys, March probably was one of my slowest months when it came to content. I posted a grand total of 5 videos this month. I was still taking group lessons at P-Town, but one of the big milestones this month was I had my first point sparring match coming up, so I was kind of preparing for that in the group lessons. Back then, I thought I was really prepared for whatever the opponent had in store for me, but if you watch that video, you'll see. April 7th was the day I actually published that video, and I'm gonna be honest, I got absolutely beat that day. It is what it is. I was pretty green. I still wasn't, working as hard as I am now. Not even a fraction, I would say. I took a loss that day, and, we bloomed into something better. April 19th, I went back to long form videos for a bit. I started taking some private lessons. And guys, I found out that there was another level to this boxing stuff. Like, I didn't know that you could work even harder than I was back then, and I thought I was working super hard. But nope, I was thrust into a new level because of all that private training stuff. And so yeah, I started sharpening the saw per se. By the way, I just want to know, I think it's funny, I made only one short video in April. It was a really slow month. And I started working with Coach Ansel at the end of April, which, shout out to him, it was a really fun training session for what it was back then. Now from the content side, May was a gigantic pivot month, and that's because I made one final video where it was a long form training session video, and I completely switched to shorts after this point. In May, I completely abandoned the relearning, so I just put the days, which I was on day 157 at the start of May, which is kind of shocking to me. I'm already on like day 250 something. But by this point, you could already see the progression. Like, comparing that footage from when I started, it's a lot better than the start of the year at that point. And, I was doing what I was doing. I worked with Coach Ansel a couple more times that month, had a training session with Coach at P-Town. But really, to end off that month, I would say, yeah, the big transition. There wasn't as much, long form content, but I did switch over to that short form, which has gotten me to where I am now, and I'm super thankful for that. Now, June, you guys aren't gonna believe it, but I was on schedule as always. I mean, as you can see, I was getting sharper and sharper by the day, and I kind of diversified slightly more by this time. As you could see, I made some swimming videos. Now granted, some of them didn't do the best, but it is what it is. And I made my first video on Ringside VR where I showed my VR boxing skill. July, that second half of the year, it felt like June part 2 if I had to be honest. A lot more diversification of my content with that swimming, VR boxing, and boxing. However, in July, I had my first spar in a while, and I'm proud of where I was back then. I mean, I've improved a lot from then, even though it's only been 5 months, which kind of still shocks me. Now in August, you guys aren't gonna believe it, but I had another spar. Once again, with those usual videos of swimming to learn how to box, some VR content along with that, and my usual content of learning how to box. In September, I had another spar that was really the highlight of the month. Sadly, at this point, the swimming to learn how to box series ended, so we just continued with our usual work. Now October, yo. October was a gigantic month for me. I made my sparring video as usual and my other content, which I'm showing you right now. As you can see, sharpening the saw as always. I mean, you can't expect anything less. Now on October 20th, I made a bigger video where I bought a Quest 3 to fight in a $200 VR boxing tournament, which is actually blowing up, and it's the source for a lot of the subscribers that I have, which, it was a great call. I think it was one of my best videos that I've made by far. November. I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, guys, but I sharpened the saw. I mean, as you can see, I'm a whole lot better than I was at the start of the year, and you could see that it shows, you know, if you grind at it for long enough, then the results and the work does pay out. Also in this month, I made 3 big videos, 2 of them being sparring sessions, and 1 of them being my full tournament playthrough of Throw the Fight. Finally, to round out the year, I had 2 sparring sessions once again in December. It's the closest benchmark to where I am right now. I mean, I'm on day 246 of boxing in total, and I would say my improvements are starting to show, right? I mean, we have a whole year ahead of us. I don't know how many people are gonna make it to the end of this video, but honestly, I just want to get something out for you guys because I want to show my appreciation for how far my channel has come this year. I mean, we almost reached 1,000 subs, which I'm pretty sure we're gonna reach by like maybe 2026, or maybe even earlier if we get enough traction. But I mean, I started this channel kind of as like a time machine for when I was older to just see what I was doing, and you could tell. I mean, even when I started the channel, my voice has changed since then.
But we aren't.
But hey, I know this isn't one of my usual types of videos. This is just, you know, benchmark. It shows how far I've come with my training sessions, my channel, and everything else in between. But that is about it, guys. I'm Kobe Gaza. Please subscribe, and I hope you have a great day.